I've been sick, but now I'm feeling much better. So I'm a senior in high school, and because I'm a senior and graduating and making giant life choices, I've been feeling a bit nostalgic. And at school, one of my graduation requirements is writing an autobiography. So I get to think about my childhood a lot. And I found this set of questions on the internet. Where else would I find it? Called the Throwback Tag. So I'm going to do that today. What year were you born in? 1996. Do you have any pictures of yourself as a child? And if you do, show them. I have this one. I was called Slobber Monkey. This one with my cousin in Spain. I'm half Spanish, so we went there pretty often. This one, because I'm fabulous. What TV shows did you grow up watching? Definitely Star Wars. I watched The Big Comfy Couch, although I remember like one episode of that. There's The Winx Club. I watched that. Yeah. Harry Potter, if that counts. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! That too. What did you want to be when you grow up, and do you still want to be that? When I was 8, I started writing. I used to want to be a writer. This is where I wrote stories about fairy twin sisters that found each other when they were like older and more mature. I wanted to be an astronomer or physicist, mostly because I got a physics award. Physics. I have tons of astronomy books. This globe set where I can see the stars in my house. And I also used to want to be an artist. I'm up until 7th grade, roundabouts. Let's see. This was from, I don't know, 8th grade? Something like that. I was really into art. Now I intend on majoring in communications, mostly because writing and film are categorized in that. I still want to be what I first wanted to be as a child when I grow up. What were your favorite toys to play with? I liked card games a lot. I even had a Harry Potter deck that I'd play Go Fish with. I really liked that game. I also liked puzzles, although I often never finished them. Ball pins and jumpy houses. Jumping castles. What's the most embarrassing thing you remember doing? I was in 4th or 5th grade, and I was being babysat, and earlier during that same week at school, my school teacher told the class how it's dangerous to be on MySpace or something. Something vague like that. And so when I saw my babysitter on MySpace while we were being babysat, I told her that's really dangerous and you really shouldn't be on that website. I didn't really know what MySpace was to begin with, so read something you wrote when you were in kindergarten. I don't have anything from kindergarten, but I do have something from 1st grade. Literally the first thing I wrote in my 1st grade class. Roveredo 10 marzo lunedì. Oggi è arrivata una compagna nuova. Si chiama Marta. Ha gli occhi azzurri e verdi. Prima era a Sacile, adesso è con noi. Wow, I went French there. Okay, arrivederci. My dad was in the military until I was 12 years old. So in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, I was located in Italy. So I went to Italian schools. I had beautiful handwriting. Check that out. The Italian schools were really appreciative of the arts, which is probably why I wanted to be an artist when I was younger. And I had to draw this for some like fairy play we did in 2nd grade. I remember when I first started school there, I really didn't know much Italian, although I did speak some Spanish at home, so it wasn't too hard to pick up. But I remember when we first started, I did a lot of, charade kind of things, like I need to borrow a pencil. In Europe, they start taking English as a language in like 1st grade, so it wasn't too bad. What's the scariest thing you remember happening when you were a child? Well, in 5th grade, my family lived in Texas, so one day there was a really bad thunderstorm, and this is where my slight fear of thunder and lightning storms stems from. And whenever there's a thunderstorm in Texas, there's pretty much a tornado warning. That day was really bad. I actually remember the teacher coming in because they brought the students to the cars where their parents were, and it's raining really hard, it's probably hailing, and there's tons of wind, and the teacher comes back in with her umbrella like upside down like in the cartoons. It's pretty cool. During school we had to like hide under desks and like go under cover twice. So once we got home, the weather was still pretty bad, but it seemed fine. We went to bed and then at midnight, pitch black, and I hear the wind howling, and then over the wind I hear like a wailing, like a siren. This is when my dad rushes in to wake up my little sister, who was like, I don't know, 5 at the time and I'm 10. And he says that that's the tornado siren going off and we need to go hide under the stairs because they don't have basements in this house because the ground is a lot like clay. So I'm still kind of groggy. I'm like, oh crap, a tornado? I was actually terrified. We go downstairs. We go down the stairs and then we have to go around a corner to go like in the cupboard under the stairs. As we're going around the corner, I stop because right in that moment, the whole house shook. I thought we were in an earthquake. I thought the house was just gonna like crumble or just get lifted off and taken off like in The Wizard of Oz or something. And I was literally holding onto a table and everything was shaking. I'm pretty sure I heard a plate fall down and crash on the ground or something. And we hid inside the cupboard under the stairs. And while we're under the stairs, we have this container of tacks. It's like on top of a bookshelf, and because everything is shaking so much, the tacks like almost fell on us, so we had to pick up the tacks. And my dad, he's standing right outside the cupboard, and us kids, me and my 3 siblings, I have 3 siblings who are younger than me, and my mom were in the cupboard, and my brother starts praying, and then we all start praying because we think that we're gonna die. And it was terrifying, but after, I don't know, it felt like a long time. It could have just been 5 minutes for all I know. We went back out, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, and we just watched the news for an hour or so, a couple hours after that, because most of us couldn't really go back to bed after that. But that's my story about being in an almost tornado. It actually touched down about, I don't know, a mile away. And it turned out to be a pretty big tornado, but we were safe. We were fine. We didn't have to worry about the tornado, and yeah, that was one of the scariest moments in memory. And how is the world now different than it was when you were a child? It's very different. My childhood was moving around every 2 years, and now I've been in the same place for like 7 years, and it's driving me insane. It's really weird to live someplace that long, because most of the time I only live someplace for about 2 years. I also have to make a lot of my own decisions and stick to deadlines and do work. I don't get to just sit around and watch the big comfy couch all day. DVDs are a thing, except they're not because Netflix. I turn 18 in like a month. It's ridiculous. A lot of people will just, you know, kind of think about how good the younger days were, how wonderful it was. I could wear mismatched clothes and still be called adorable. But I'm not gonna complain. Life is pretty good. I'm gonna be going to college next year, which means more adventures, more stories to tell, more people to meet, and what else could be more awesome besides hanging out with my family more. But I'm really happy with where I am now because life's pretty awesome and can't really complain about my childhood, and I can look back upon it wistfully, but I won't go back because I've got a future to chase down and live out. I say a lot.